Hi everybody. Today I am going to talk about one topic which is very close to my heart. This is about the delivery of first Maruti 800 or maybe first few Marutis on 14th December 1983, almost 40 years ago. I wanted to make this video few days ago, but somehow I am able to make it before the year end closes today. My name is Dinesh Basin. If you want to have a look at my earlier videos which I make on cars, just Google Dr. Dinesh Basin car care. So let's come back to our topic. Want to just travel back 40 years. We were, me included, first 8 service engineers which were recruited by Maruti at that time to give service to those cars which were delivered 14 December 1983 onwards. I remember when I joined Maruti, there were 1 or 2 people in service department who were there. So I was definitely in the first 10 people. Talking about Gurgaon, where these cars were manufactured, and talking about the original factory which is on the Gurgaon, that's called Palam Gurgaon Highway, which still exists, but then most of the people travel through something called NH8 now. There was no DLF. There was no, there's a sector called Sector 14, very near to Maruti, which is very crowded now. It was there, but almost deserted. Udyog Vihar, where the current Maruti factory, that old factory I'm talking about, exists. Not many factories were there. And there were a lot of things. The factory, they had just started making the cars, I would say. I joined, in fact, 6 months before the first batch of cars was sold. So before the coming to the actual ceremony, there were a lot of other preparations which had taken place. For example, how to dispatch the cars which were made from Delhi to Bangalore, let's say Delhi to Bombay. It's easier to drive down to Delhi, but then the decision was taken that no car will be driven on its own because of its newness factor, also the curiosity of the people if the car is being driven. So we had decided, the management at that time had decided to dispatch the cars on the trailers. Design of the trailers, you see those very long trailers now, even nowadays. Can you imagine who designed that, how it was designed? And on the slope, there were 2 decks, if you remember. There's still 2 decks, upper deck, lower deck. How to put the car? Who put the first car as a trial purposes? I happen to be one of those people who had put the first car on the trailers. Design of the showrooms, design of the workshops. Let's not forget that that was the time of Fiat ambassadors and some old cars we don't even, at least I don't even remember the names. So this new car Maruti 800 had come. It had some unique features. One of the features, if you remember, some of the guys who had taken that time, let's say some of the people who have been driving for last 2, 3, 4 decades would remember that Maruti 800 onwards. And now of course all cars have got something called diaphragm clutch. The conventional clutch, if you all remember, people used to put their foot on the clutch pedal. People used to take the car in the second gear. So this was a different type of clutch. This did not allow such type of driving. So there were a lot of clutch failures. It had a floor gear shifting arrangement, if you all remember. Even now they have got. And one of the very good things was, this was at that time, and continues to be so, a no trouble car. Just put petrol and just drive. I mean, no, when you arrive at the destination, there's no need to check the, as they used to call it, oil, pani, and all those things, which was a norm at that time. So this car did not have a problem. I'm once again telling you something about 1983. Let's come to the delivery function now. The delivery function was planned at a very senior level. We were, as I told, the first batch of 10 or 8 service engineers. We were also involved, and we were given the duty to go and personally request the chief guests. I remember I had gone to many VIPs like Udyog Bhavan, many people in Udyog Bhavan. the Union Transport Minister, Ministry of Heavy Industry at that time used to sit there. There were other invitees also there, embassies, other ministries, media. There were no corporate houses at that time, not many. I mean, I don't recollect, at least I had not gone to invite. And that thing, you have to just go back 40 years and imagine what type of life and industry that would be. So, and we were, and then as I said, continuing on the function, we were asked to PDI. PDI is pre-delivery inspection. When the vehicles are sold, even today, it's inspected by the dealer workshop. At that time, since the function was in the factory plant, that Gurgaon plant, first plant which I told you, we the service engineers, we were given the job to do the PDI of the vehicles. And you just imagine the stress which we were having at that time. Gaadi start ho jana chahiye, that kind of thing. The first car will be delivered. So we had PDI around 20-25 vehicles. But only, if I remember correctly, some of those guys who were there with me at that time, probably they can help me recollect. Only first 4 cars were delivered by then chief guest. That time the chief guest was Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi, along with some other chief guests also. The first 4 cars were delivered through her, and we were standing roughly, I would imagine, around 100 or 50 or 80 meters away from her because of security reason. Of course, we were having the keys of the many of the cars. This was function at that time being handled by the plant and marketing people. Our job was only technical, in case God forbid some technical problem come. The first customer, if we industry knows now, was a gentleman called Harpal Singh. He was given, and then first 4 or 5 or 10 customers were driven to the main gate. Sir, congratulations for your first car. I remember at that time the senior officers of Maruti, one of them, Mr. Bhargav, continues to be chairman now of the Suzuki, of Maruti Suzuki. Maruti Suzuki was the company known now, was then known as Maruti Udyog Ltd. So I'm talking about something Maruti Udyog Ltd. That time Mr. Bhargav was Director of Marketing and Sales. Mr. V. Krishnamurthy, who was the founder chairman, was also one of the guests, one of the senior people hosting the guests and the dignitaries, the VIPs at that time. So that was a very a great function, I would say. Great function in a sense that now, of course, cars are being driven by millions of people, youngsters and everything, but that time it was a pride that I own a Maruti 800. So just trying to conclude, in my opinion, coming to my views about this, Maruti 800 of that time, and thereafter Omni came, Gypsy came, Maruti Zen came, Maruti 1000, Maruti ST, etc. Those models in the first, let's say, 5 odd years, with the help of then employees, with the help of those vendors who had developed the components, with the help of the dealers who were selling and servicing, and many others. This is the team of the people, along with the Maruti Udyog Ltd of that time, and now called Maruti Suzuki India, which has, I would say, revolutionized the Indian automobile industry. Now, of course, it's history, but I feel proud since it has just crossed 40 years. This 14th December, Maruti has crossed 40 years of its first delivery. I feel proud to have been associated with those moments, and at that time also I was associated with Maruti in the initial batch of few engineers. I think that was, there are a lot of things to be, we can discuss, we can go on and on, but let me try to close it by saying that those was very momentous moments. We cannot forget that. I'm now a retired man. Wishing you all a very happy new year. Enjoy 2024, and wish you the same for you and your family and years and years. Thank you.